here's an old term. Action turns knowledge into wisdom. And the fires of creation is that process of action turning knowledge into wisdom. We all know, but until we do, it's not the experience and the understanding of the experience that it takes to understand it. Experiential situation is really what it is.
It's not about what you do and all of the things you create or don't create. It is truly about lifetime to lifetime endurance and gaining joy and happiness out of it. It's not about success. It is just about joy, happiness, and love.
Have you been finding yourself stuck in a rut, unable to launch your new projects, not getting the experiences you're looking out of your spiritual experiences? You're trying to start a business and running into troubles? I have special coaching sessions for you. Spiritual readings, Akashic records, healings, all those are available to you. I invite you to come and look at the different journeys that I've done in the live shows that I've done. I'm inviting you all to come on the journey, expand your life, expand your willpower, learn more about sovereignty. We also have the Living the Mystical Life monthly membership. It's a new relaunch of the system where you get all of our live webinars and get access to our Discord server for our live shows. Go to the website, andrewbartzis.com, for more information. Come and join our community, inviting you all to come on this journey as we expand to the universe of the Great Awakening. Welcome, everybody, to another adventure in reality. I'm your host, Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. Today is a live call-in show for the first hour, followed by a members show starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is a sad day. Everybody's got their own political views, but death is not a way to engage into politics. I want to leave it open to anybody that wants to talk about anything today. If you are mourning and hurting, come and talk to me. If you don't know what to think, what to say, come and just express your views here. This is a safe space for people to come and change their mind, open their perspectives, and allow a greater perception in. We face challenges as a race of human beings when we allow the negatives to run this world. But we have to be courageous. The only way to be courageous today is to make a choice. And that choice starts with you first, and not the tribal ways, not the way of extended perceptions of this is the only way. Your way first. And in that journey of your way first, you may actually have an opportunity to expand some of your own personal journeys. All right, we got a caller here already. Lindsay, signal to unmute.
Hello, Andrew.
Hey, where are you calling from today?
West Coast, Canada.
West Coast, Canada. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Sort of just like the brutal nature of things we shouldn't be seeing but are seeing every day now, and like, is it tied to the blood moon, and is this our new norm?
Isn't it been our new norm for the last 4 years?
Yeah. We haven't really settled on a norm. It's just like getting ugly.
Maybe you're just seeing it with hindsight now. It's been there for a long time. How many mass shootings have we had this year? 11. How many mass shootings do we have the year before? Like 12? Okay.
Yeah. And even personally, like, I didn't know anyone who's been affected by like a violent death until like a couple days ago. So it's happening individually, but it's also happening globally. And I don't know. What can you tell us?
It's been happening globally for a long time.
Yeah.
But before you blame the esoteric, before you blame the baby raping wizards, etc., You got to take into account yourself. What can you do for yourself? Okay, to guarantee your personal inner peace and sovereignty. How do you find inner peace in this crazy world that we're in without
Well,
being obsessed about something?
one thing that has helped and I'd learned from you is the neutral perspective. But you have mentioned to me before that I can't be neutral about everything.
Yeah.
So, so that helps, but like, how could we be neutral and not at the same time?
Not hold on to the attachments.
Mm,
That's ultimately the biggest lesson of sacred neutrality is don't make an attachment a sacred cow that you can't get rid of. Example, yesterday when I found out about Charlie Kirk, I was devastated. Not just personally, but for the potential of our human species. Okay? So very just the potential of where we're at. And it's in its own irony, Turning Point USA. We are at a critical mass and a turning point. These next few days are critical for our personal human development, and how people act now is so vital.
yeah.
I have said for a long time that we welcome everyone here, and we have challenges, the left and the right, trying to talk to each other. But even though this is a spiritual show, everyone can come together. During when Trump lost the election and all those people that were supporting Q, we opened a door to them, and they were able to come and heal. And now the same thing. Okay, with this political assassination, no matter how the events turn out, a healing has to happen. But some of Charlie Kirk's words are truly amazing words. Okay, he spoke about personal sovereignty, same thing I talk about. Talk about courage, same thing I'll talk about. Commitment, separate of his political views. What was at the core of his message was to stand up and be heard and be peaceful with it.
Right.
Okay, standing up to your own personal programs is just as important.
Right.
Okay? We can't do that all the time. We can't remain sacred neutral all the time. That's not natural living. We got to have those moments where the polarity does affect us. I purposely let it affect me yesterday and to today. Why? I need to go through this. I need to figure out what's next for me as a public speaker. I've had death threats, multiples. I've had people show up at my house and try to kidnap me. I've had to pull a gun on someone to stop them from trying to hurt me. In the years of doing this, I've talked about it before.
Yep.
Okay? What's for me next? Okay? Do I think anybody's going to show up? I'm pretty safe where I'm at right now. Okay? That's not my issue, but what can I do to help change people beyond the spiritual stuff that I talk about?
Good question.
That's why I'm letting this charge and polarity run wild in me. It's going to teach me something about what I need to do to grow.
Yeah, you can't you have to surrender, right? You can't deny it or push it down and just because you got to get things done. I like to put on a sad song, and if I'm feeling sad, just put on some music and just let it all, while it's going, just let it keep going with some songs in the background because that's what works for me.
I'm a writer, so I write out my thoughts, feelings, emotions, concepts, mind constructions. But I haven't written anything about this yet.
Yeah.
Have you seen the post about the Tree of Liberty put up a long time ago?
No.
If you go to my Twitter page, it's pinned there to the top. It's kind of long one. It's about the Tree of Liberty and the blood of martyrs refleshing the roots of the Tree of Liberty. It's an old saying from Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
I made a very extended journey about how divisive politics on both sides are the destruction of human abilities to make informed choices. And it's really an in-depth piece and very long on purpose. And what I'm waiting for right now in myself is to come to an internal consensus about what do I do next? How has Charlie Kirk inspired me? I didn't really watch him that much. I wouldn't say that I was a big supporter, but I watched a lot of TikToks of him owning the libs. and that brought a smile to my face.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I wasn't an avid fan. I barely watched him, but he inspired me with his way to debate, his ability, the quick wit of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna sharpen my quick wit. I'm gonna sharpen my debate skills. That's kind of the direction that I'm leaning into now. It doesn't have to be all about spirituality, but I also don't want to dump full bore into politics.
Right. No. Ooh.
What's
But
what's the delicate balance here for me?
well, yeah, because it's remembering the main goal is unity, and it's so hard when there's one versus the other. But Charlie did it in a way where he's not gonna, like, a lot of people are online now, like cheering or saying, "Look at this one quote he said, so let's not even think about this too much." That's a true color, but we can't be like that.
Those people that are celebrating his death, they're low frequency people.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a Twitter post. I made one post about Charlie Kirk. I've lost my job. I'm getting death threats. What do I do now?
Ooh.
The person that doesn't understand the consequences of their actions. Okay, I've had to deal with the consequences of all my actions my whole life, and that's a person just exposed right now.
Exposed.
Just exposed to the consequences of their action. And unfortunately, so many of these people that are making these statements are on SSRIs.
Mm.
They are unstable because of the nature of the meds in them. And then there's a large volume of who just aren't and who are just following what somebody else says and somebody else says because they want to be cool in this social media world.
Yeah.
Okay? All the big top game streamers are fighting each other now. XQC versus Aiden Ross versus this versus they're all fighting each other now. Everybody's little camp, little tribes are starting to do battle again.
Well, things keep happening that incite these battles, but like, when is it going to be the thing that happens that unites us and we're in the streets like they were in the 70s, like you said? Like,
What were they united against in the 70s, though?
Domination and control?
No.
Racism?
There were 1,000 different things that united them. There
Yeah.
was no one thing that united them all. It was the whole shebang of everything going wrong. And then you had the counter-revolutionaries. You had the weathermen. You had their terrorism people that popped up through that. Okay? We're in a repeating of that history now. And instead of it being the hippies in the 60s, it's the blue-haired liberals versus the red hat, MAGA hat wearers.
Yeah.
Just a different name of a different thing and a different time.
Tree of Liberty. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't gone to go to my Twitter page, it's pinned there right on the top. It's one of those things that'll really make you think.
Thought leaders. Like you say, we need those.
Yeah, thought leaders. And again, that's what I've been thinking about. What can I do in this space and maintain an audience? Because I've seen other spiritual people go political and just destroy their audiences, never able to regain it.
Yeah. Well, it's important to be nuanced. Sorry?
Sure, nuances
and humor. Like, you got to put some of that in there because you got to laugh, even if it's laughing at absurdity. Like, this is absurd.
It is laughing at the absurdity. Laughter is one of those great tools that can depolarize a scenario and a situation. But you also all these comics coming out and getting their asses canceled because they're saying, "I'm glad he's dead," and making jokes about it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like people trying to make jokes right after 9/11. Doesn't matter what the truth of 9/11 is, you still don't do that. You give people a chance to mourn. There was a guy that showed up in Minneapolis to the candlelight vigil for Charlie Kirk, and he started screaming, "Fuck Charlie Kirk, fuck him, he should have died," and the crowd beat the shit out of him. Beat the living tar out of him. Where was his smarts? You're gonna drive into a crowd of people that are mourning and offend them?
Where are the smarts in that? Like, it's just a low vibration. They can't even see how transparently dumb they are, I guess.
No common sense.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, was that person possessed? Probably at some level by his own internal ego programs and some outside influence. Do I care? No. That was karma between that person and that crowd of people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Karma is swift in 2025.
Right.
That's my 2 cents. I don't have much else to say, but I appreciate you.
You're welcome. All right, let me move on to, I got another caller here.
All right.
So, Claire, signal to unmute. Claire, are you there? Going once, going twice. Right. And she made it on number 3.
I didn't raise my hand.
That doesn't matter. The new rule is anybody that's in the room got called on.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the second hour for the members. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing much better. I'm, doing my daily stuff and gaining more power. Everything's going pretty well, and I agree with everything you all both just said. Things that are going on are a little bit, well, it's definitely scary, and staying in sacred neutral, that's the tricky part. But, trying to talk to people about it, like at work and things like that, is difficult.
Yeah. Has it
So,
affected you at all?
I didn't know much about him, but it did affect me from the people around me at work saying how much they hated him and all the things he was saying. It's very disappointing and hurtful to hear what people are saying.
Yeah.
That's how it affected me. Yeah.
Yeah. Are they showing you their true colors?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Well, they always have kind of, it just seems to be getting worse. When I know it's sacred neutral way, you can stand back and look at it, but everything just seems to be getting a little worse, more divided. Like you said, things were going to get worse before they got better anyways. But I'm talking big picture. I don't look at it and get sad every day and get depressed and look at it, but I'm just very aware of it, very aware of it.
Okay. Yeah, I have a family that all has, stage 5 Trump derangement syndrome. Stage 4 is you have it for life. Stage 5 is you take it with you to your next life. Okay.
I see. Yep.
And there's no way to have a conversation other than about weather with them, because they immediately insert their political views and bait me and try to say something back. And it's reached a point where I no longer engage with them. And their family, I love them, but it still comes down to you can't have a normal conversation with them.
No, you can't. And I find I go to lunch every day. I go to my car and just relax. And the girls are fighting when I get back. This went back to when Black Lives Matter started and all kinds of things. And it's just, you have to pull back, but then you kind of get cut from the herd, which is okay too.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in that herd then.
Exactly.
But that also makes you feel very easy to embrace being a hermit. And you can't embrace the hermitsy side. We are meant to be social beings. We are not meant to be. Okay?
Yeah.
These terribleness of this challenge of what's going to roll out if they don't find a shooter in the next 2 days. Okay? And knowing this government, we're never going to get a real answer, probably.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Unless Trump and the advisors decide to break from the norm and admit the truth. And then what landslide of shit does that bring?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on an ironic moment, the day of Charlie Kirk's shooting, shortly after he was shot, NASA admits they found life on Mars.
I saw that. I didn't read it, but I saw it in my feed.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where disclosure comes out behind something else and gets covered up. Is it one of those things?
The day before Charlie was shot, we had the UAP hearings. The UAP hearing, which went its own way. It was not as bombshell as the last one, but there was some big testimony in that one. Really big testimony.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. If you haven't watched any of the UAP hearings that were on Tuesday, highly advise you to go and watch. It's 2 hours of like just like listening to a podcast. You'll hear some really, really good stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's excellent.
Okay. China landed on the moon.
That I heard about.
Okay, that's not their first time. It's like their fifth time.
Yeah, they have done it.
And our NASA says we can't do it. We don't have the technology to do it anymore.
That's my cat. There's just so much going on with, I was so excited when Trump first took office. Now, I'm not a Trump fan 100%, but everything that was going to happen, it felt so good. It was going in the right direction. Everything just it's just such a mess now. And I'm sure there's reasons for it. I'm just stepping back, watching it, and no
Listen,
World War III.
I was not a Trump fan for the longest time. It was his assassination attempt that pushed me over. Okay? I remain the term I created a long time ago. The idea of this: I'm the alt center. I'm not your standard centrist. I'm the alternate centrist. I believe in spirit first, human growth, equality for all. Capitalism can work when there's the proper criminal controls for it. Okay.
Right. Yep.
Okay. And meritocracy is absolutely important. Okay. Mental health. We need a major restructuring of the entire allopathic medical system. But
Yes.
That's on the way. That's Robert Kennedy. It's not going to be done overnight. He got rid of the vaccine boards. He got rid of the politicist people in it. And over the next year or two, we're going to see what actually happens to the autism rates. He's supposed to release the autism stuff, all the autism stuff. All this happened.
Yeah.
Life on Mars, China landing on the moon, Charlie Kirk dying, and the autism vaccine information is coming out.
That should, because I live in Florida, and if so many people are upset about what just came out, and I guess they're saying that you don't have to vaccinate your kids anymore. They're trying to get that going, that rolling, and that's a huge. Oh my goodness! Obviously, yeah.
And then what is the reparations that the big pharma has to do?
Right.
Okay,
right.
Just be nationalized as part of their reparations.
Oh no.
Yeah, but as soon as you make it a government thing, it destroys itself. It never has profitability. Government is not capable of functioning on its own.
No, it's not. You're right.
Okay.
Because big pharma has been putting in who they want. I know what you're saying now. Yeah. It's just. I just hope there's not a World War III. I don't think there will be. I don't feel it.
There won't be a World War III.
No, I don't think so either. I can feel it.
Okay. I think the off-worlders have their butt in anything that goes nuclear.
Absolutely. It's so funny. That's the same exact thing. I've told a couple people that, and they look at me like, yeah, okay. I said, well, it's not going to be allowed to happen. Don't worry,
So I was watching an interview with Sean Ryan. I forgot who the other guy was on, but they were talking about Castro and the nuclear, the whole Bay of Pigs posting. And Castro was asked, if you had the chance, would you have fired them? If you actually had nuclear missiles? And Castro admitted, I did have nuclear missiles, and I hit the button and it failed.
Wow, this was back in the 60s. You mean the Bay of Pigs?
Just after the Bay of Pigs, yeah. He said, yes, I had the missiles, and I hit the button, and they didn't work. None of the 12 missiles he got to fire worked. Somebody shut them off.
Yeah.
And we have all this information from all these UAP hearing people about how they go into the nuclear facilities and just make them completely useless. They have to start from the ground up. They just scramble something in the missile and it's completely useless, and they have to fully replace it.
Gotcha. Boy, that makes so much sense. Can I find those on YouTube?
Yeah, I watch it on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's 100% makes so much sense. That's why I don't feel any fear with any of this. I just see the big mess and I see people around me so distraught and crying. I have patients come in and they're just it's just destroying themselves. You know, the media and everything going on, it's tearing people apart right now and it's heartbreaking,
Yeah.
to watch. It really is. And even family,
Mm-hmm.
and and then I'm doing pretty good. And I just went through a breakup, but I got this person who's telling people all these horrible things behind my back, all of my friends, and I'm having to deal with that. And that's a tough thing. But even that in itself is all the same. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning a lot. I'm going through a lot and I'm learning a lot. And I'm doing, you know, by doing the daily work, like you said, it begins to build your confidence back up again and it starts to prove itself to you and you keep going and going. And, if you look at the big picture like Dale did, you kind of feel overwhelmed, like, oh my God, how am I going to heal all this stuff? But you can't. I think if you take it day by day and it's like building a muscle, then it'll just kind of lead into itself and keep going and keep going.
That's why
That's all.
scheduling your spiritual work is so important. You have
Yeah.
things to look forward to. You actually have a future.
Yes.
I
Yes.
plan my personal practices out generally 6 to 10 years ahead of time because I
Mm-hmm.
know if I change it, I change it. I will always make up and do it because I remain at a solid B plus effort. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because at first I thought, oh my God, how am I going to, if I got to get rid of this one thing I found the other night of nobody likes me, that comes back from when I was a tiny baby child. It feels so big, but you don't have to look at that one thing all the time. I've
Oh,
got so many of them I want to change. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to do this? And I thought, well, first of all, relax, number one, and just keep doing your daily practice. And it's like an hourglass where one grain falls through, the rest will follow. That's what I'm feeling like. Just keep going. And plan it out. Like you said, I'll have my schedule and everything. So it's
well,
been
now let
interesting.
me move on to the next caller here before
Sure.
the follow-up.
Of course. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right, Sarah, signal to unmute. Sarah, are you there? Going once. Sarah, going twice. Sarah, going thrice. And Sarah is not there. We'll move on to Mate. Signal to unmute. Mate, are you there? Is anybody there? Is anybody out there? There you go.
Go Chino Radio, co-host. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I'm driving.
It's okay. How's it going with you today?
It's good. I was working. I'm heading home right now. I was trying to catch your show, when I get home, but I didn't make it home.
Ah,
That's all. I don't know. I was looking into some of the stuff we talked about last time, like finding some place in Florida. I found a place in Tampa for ayahuasca ceremonies. I don't know if you know anything about those people, or you can suggest anything particular, or what I should really be looking for specifically.
Are you going to try?
Also, just wanted to ask if there's any other way to prepare her. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Are you trying to try it with your sister?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you going to try it with your sister?
I mean, that's my hope. Yeah, that's I'm gonna put everything on that card.
Have you asked her? Have you asked her yet?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna wait till I'll go back home and in person, of course. I've been kind of preparing. I made my notes with what you talked about. I collected my thoughts. I kind of talked about it with my mom, and we wrote out all the things that could come up, how to handle it, like so many things. I can't tell her that I know stuff from you because she'll just be like, she'll just find something wrong with everything. So it's like I'm trying to keep her in the dark as much as possible about what I plan on doing. Like I wouldn't tell her about the ayahuasca until she agrees that she wants the help from me. You know what I mean? And then I wouldn't tell her about your radio show either, because she'll just start picking fights about things like, why am I going public and blah, blah, blah about her stuff,
So you got to slow down a second. It's not your help.
Not my what?
It's not your help. It's
That might
very
help.
important that you don't own this as you helping her. It's got to be
Okay.
her helping herself.
Right.
You force
Right,
her
right,
to do something she doesn't really want to, it won't be as if she went there on her own.
I know. And basically, like you said, my plan is to just like kind of tell her that I do know it's serious. I do know that I believe that she needs help. And basically, I just want to tell her that I'd be willing to help. And then I really have to navigate the conversation on, okay, well, how would you help? And then if I tell her how I would help, she would just be like, oh no, that's not gonna work, and shut me off, and that'd be that. So my plan would be just not tell her how I would help her. I would kind of just argue with her that, if you can't trust me, if you can't, if you look at me with these certain views, the way you see me, um, and you can't work with me whatsoever, I won't be able to help. It doesn't matter what it is, right?
Sure, but you're still saying I help, and you've got to disengage from the
Okay,
I.
okay. You're right. I gotcha.
Very important you do. Otherwise,
So how do I say it?
this is going to be how well do you truly know her, and does she even know what ayahuasca is?
Yeah, she's gonna be like, that's a drug, and I don't want to do it. So
Okay.
I don't want to jump on it right away.
Okay.
I want her to get to the point where she understands that I do know it's serious, and that I would like to, see if we can figure out something for her. If she's willing to work with me whatsoever, I'll try to skip out the I help part.
You're still using the we part, and I know it's just a
The
conversation.
we's not good.
No, we's not good either. Basically, the way you have to pitch it to her is this is not a drug. This is people who use it to get rid of PTSD, to get rid of all sorts of things. And here's some information for you. I'm thinking about going and doing it. Here's the information. That's how passive you're going to have to be unless you're ready to do true intervention with her.
So, and if I did the intervention thing, what would that look like rather than this?
Everyone in the family's got to come together. Her husband, her child, your mother, any brothers or sisters. They won't?
They won't. No, I already know. They're not gonna understand where I'm coming from. They're gonna be like, it's not that serious. They're gonna be like, we can handle it. They're gonna be like, they'll come up with all sorts of excuses.
Slow down. You're full of charge and polarity. Okay? It's very important that you neutralize yourself here. Your presentation to them is an intervention. She's gone off the hook and she needs medical intervention. She needs to go to an actual facility to get drugs. Okay? They will understand that part.
Yes.
Okay? They would understand that part.
I mean, my mom's the only one that's really, on my side and understanding and trying to be helpful as much as she can. I don't think my stepdad would want to get into it at all. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I don't know if her husband there's nobody else, her husband and her son.
Okay. Again,
that's it.
You have to suggest to her to go and do the ayahuasca journey, present the information, and see if she talks back about it. Are you going to go do it, etc.? Once again, you can't be in this higher position of her, or she'll reject everything you're doing. It's almost got conceited, like she thought of going and doing it on her own.
Right, inception.
No. That's why there are ways to introduce it. This is the guys coming back from the military that have the worst PTSD have been able to do this and find peace and growth. Okay.
What do I say about me knowing what's going on? Do I tell her?
No.
No.
Other than I can tell you're hurting.
Yeah.
And I think this hurt has reached a point where you need some outside help. Okay? And because your only other option is allopathic psychology drugs. I don't want to see you go on that, do you?
Right. Okay, that's a good way to put it, the way you just said it, yes. That there's these things and that other one really does suck. And I really don't want that for her. Nobody wants that.
No. And you can say You may think you're hiding it, but a lot of us can see through it. We know you're suffering inside.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have to say anything more than that.
Okay. I like that better.
Yeah.
And obviously you can put it in my ear too. I mean, as soon as we talked about, me considering that, that's what I'm going to suggest to her and maybe go with her and all that, obviously I would do it too. So I can't present it that way.
Okay. I would actually tell you to not
That,
go with
and
her.
if you want, you could come with me.
I would tell you not to have you and her in the same ceremony.
Well, I don't think it would be the same ceremony. I'd be, willing to go. She would do it one day and I would do it the next day or something like that is what I was thinking.
No.
That's not good either? Okay.
No.
Well, let's just
Maybe
mix it all together.
Yeah. Other than maybe you say, all right, I'll go and do it and tell you what it was like.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then she can figure out she wants to go and do it on her own. And if she said, would you go with me? That's different. She's now opening up to you. Okay?
So I could ask that if she wanted to go with me. But like not doing it, but just really supporting me is what you're saying, or what?
No, what I'm saying is you go do it first, but you've already told her about it, what it's like. Okay?
Like after I come back.
And then it comes down to, will she engage in on her own? Okay?
Yeah, I guess so. I think I get it. And then, well, specifically for me, would there be something I should do to prepare if I did something like this? And then another question before you answer that, I would like to know, I have other questions too, because I remembered after we were done last time what I wanted. Hopefully I won't forget and we won't run out of time, but I'd like to understand more about the ancestral thing. And then I guess the relating question to that would be is like, I'm not an exception, obviously, to these ancestral effects that she's experiencing. So basically it's affecting me too. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's making your heart hurt, isn't it?
No, I'm saying like it's causing me personally a problem too, and almost everybody in the family know that these same exact ancestral problems.
That's why it's ancestral.
So yeah, and could you tell me if it's coming from my mom's side or dad's side or anything like that?
It doesn't matter what side. It's the living ancestors of the people who are alive who have the responsibility to be a heart-based being to say, you're hurting and in pain and you need help. Okay? And everyone's been too chicken to stand up to her.
Yeah.
Okay? That's literally the definition of ancestral.
But my question is this everyone in my family dealing with similar stuff? Typically?
No, everyone has their own individual version of it. It's not copy paste.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, I get that. So like I have my version, my mom has her version, and that's what I'm trying to get at, right?
Sure.
Okay. Does it go all the way to my cousins and everything?
Yes.
Wow. So it's like everywhere.
That's how lineages work. They all have common themes. Everybody's going to do it their own way, but the theme relatively remains the same.
Yeah. And how does this all start? How does it get into, what is it, genetics, basically?
Thousands of years ago, when the first souls came together, this would be between 2,500 BC, 1,500 BC, were the main soul family groups that were going to be living until the current time. We're going to break into lineages and break apart what about human nature needs to change, what lessons need to be done, how souls move from one soul family to another, how souls can be in 100 soul families all at the same time. Because as we come closer and closer, the printing press brought us closer, radio brought us closer, television and the internet brought us closer. We're closer now than we've ever been as a species in the last 5,000 years.
Yeah. I guess that's a reflection of the unity we're going towards.
I have callers from all over the world that call in. Why? Because of the internet.
Yeah, we're uniting in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
As for
can you tell me more
well,
specifically about me?
Slow down. As for you
Okay.
going and doing ayahuasca, it's all about
Hmm.
preparing in your own way. What are you going to do to purge out some of the things that you know? Basically, in every ayahuasca journey, what you don't want to look at is probably going to come up. And if you look at it
Yeah.
before you go into the ayahuasca journey, you lessen the impact of negativity that it can have and have a better chance to truly process what the medicine is showing you through a state of vision, a state of feeling, through purging. Okay, I don't doubt
Uh-huh.
that you're probably going to be a purger. You're probably going to vomit a lot and take shits a lot. Why? I know what
Yeah.
you're going
Sure.
through. There are certain things that are not words and images. They just have to be purged. They're just a poison in the soul.
And the
There is,
body somehow is able to concentrate and get it out.
yeah. That's why so many people purge vomit really bad in ayahuasca because
Yeah,
what
I've
is
heard the
in
stories.
them. It's not something you can work out as a human. It can only be expelled as an energy.
Hmm.
Okay. And then the afterwards is now that it's out, what do I do to make sure I don't bring it back?
Yeah. I mean, I already have some plans.
Right. As for you preparing, look at the stuff you don't want to look at. Write about it. Talk about it. Prayers. Sending prayers to the future you is about to enter the ceremony. You are a master of your past, present, and future with the power of prayer. I
Hmm.
have prayer points a year into the future for myself, and I've been doing that for over a decade. And do those
Right.
futures always turn out? No. But I target the moments that I know will turn out. I will be alive on my birthday, 2023. I will open myself up to the prayers I did the year before. Okay? I've made that my masterful practice. And if people look at their schedule, their calendar, and go, I can plan 6 weeks of prayers ahead of time. I know I will be going to work or coming home at 7 p.m. 30 days from now. 30 days from now, will I have the internal wherewithal to go, hey, it's 7 p.m. I have a prayer from my past self I must accept. It's my responsibility to know it. And then openly accepting your prayer from the past, uniting past, present, and future. That's how we simultaneously exist. So for you, sending prayer to the future, getting a chance to going and do, a ceremony, telling your story to the fire, getting used to being in that higher frequency state again.
Hmm.
That's your preparation. Okay? The medicine will do the rest.
Okay.
All right, Mate, I gotta let you
But
go. I got
no,
another call I want to get to. All right, Sarah, I give you a signal to unmute. Are you there, Sarah?
Hi, Andrew. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I have challenges from the Charlie Kirk assassination, but I'm letting myself go through the different emotions. Like I said earlier, this has affected me a lot.
Where were you when it was brought to your attention?
Um, I think I was watching something, and somebody texted me Charlie Kirk shot, and then holy shit, and watched everything unfold from there. And I truly think this is a critical mass of energy in human beings right now. And these next 24, 48 hours are going to be, in the spirit world, pure chaos. I absolutely think we have shifted timelines, like major shift in timeline. And then
Yeah, I agree with you.
what does this truly mean? And
Yeah,
then,
that's
as I said earlier, I was never a really big fan, other than watching his videos of him, debating the libs and owning them. I found those funny, enjoyable. Did I subscribe to his channel? No. Have I watched maybe, I don't know, 15 hours, 20 hours of material in the last year? Probably around that. Maybe a little bit more. Actually, no, probably more like 50 hours, because I did watch a couple of his 2 hour shows that I found quite good. But he's not like one of those staples that I went back to. Okay. I saw the light, faith in that human. And that's what inspired me about him.
Yes, I had a similar experience with you that just it was refreshing to see somebody so steadfast in their conviction.
Yep.
I was largely concerned that during this purge time, to feel that oh, here we go again. Oh, is this all they've got? Is that all they can do?
Yes, this is all they have.
Okay.
They cannot even sit down in a debate. Their concepts are atrociously simple to debate against. Okay?
Right. And trying to read this particular room is a little bit challenging because I feel it, the chaos that is here.
Sure.
And it's positive for most of what I've been seeing. And I am in my little bit of my gut going, rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. But now how is this? I can imagine how they intended it to affect. And it did a great job in the immediate area, causing the shift in the energies for those young people.
Uh-huh.
Now how this is going to butterfly effect out is interesting.
Well, I think it really comes down to, is the FBI going to tell us the truth? Or are they going to set somebody up?
Andrew, I love you. Okay.
Are they going to set somebody up and he's going to be killed by the police and you don't hear anything else from now on? Or are they going to capture the guy and then find out he's got, 10 encrypted cell phones like the Butler shooter for Trump? Okay? It's a matter, are they going to tell us the truth? This is what it comes down to. Okay?
Can you imagine a world, sweet man, where they would?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good. Okay, so what would that look like? Really?
I looked at Trump's and Melania's face today, and I saw a conviction that I hadn't seen him in a while. Okay?
I'm listening.
I think he's at an internal human tipping point where he knows if he does something out of place, his own family could be at risk. And I think he's at that tipping point internally. What will happen? I don't know. It's his karmic choice. Okay? No other president in history is in our current history, sorry, not in history itself, our current history has been faced with such a tough choice. My sons, my grandchildren, if I do this, they're all at risk, far worse than they already are. He knows the government is not following his orders as the executive in chief. Okay? How do you take care of this? There was an indication that foreign intelligence is now involved in this shooting. What does that mean? Okay?
Mayor, you're the second person that's brought that to my attention.
Sure. One of the White House officials talked about it today on Fox News and on CNN. He went on all the big channels and talked about it. Okay? What does that really mean? And it comes down to, are they going to tell us the truth? Now, earlier today, I was talking with Joel and a couple other people, and then I was leaning towards, this is just some guy that shot. And I still kind of leaned to that direction. But there could be forces in the background who have used the internet to radicalize him to go and do it. And there are no fingerprints.
Yeah.
Somebody could have said, hey, go practice a gun. Okay? And they've known that Charlie Kirk was going to be there 6 months in advance. And that for that last 6 months, they have been firing this guy up. Go practice this, go do that. Here's your chance, impress us, go do it. Okay?
And that got tied in with the murder on the railway. I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I was only getting this information secondhand, where the assailant had been already captured and released multiple times on previous charges. And he had been stating that there's mental illness and that there is something inside him that is making me do this.
The drugs that he was on.
Okay, so
Yeah.
remnants of the whole MK Ultra coming back up.
That guy was just possessed by the drugs and the demons within the drugs. If you've ever seen somebody in the worst of a heroin addiction or a methamphetamine or whatever drugs they're on, they desperate to not go into withdrawals, and they'll take anything at all to make
Sure.
that withdrawal to go away. And once
Yeah.
that owns you, there's a self-created internal demonic force that takes over you that often invites external negative demonic forces. Okay?
Sure, that's the physics of charge and polarity. It draws to you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't think that has the remnants of the MK Ultra?
No,
I'm sorry. Say it again. Okay.
The guy that killed the girl on the train.
Yes.
No, I don't. I think that was all drugs, all 100% drugs.
Okay, of his own doing. Okay.
Of his own doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, however, with your concept of the shooter, that we may be looking more at a programming type of situation similar to Butler, or no?
It doesn't have to be programming. It could all be literally somebody that they looked up to that gave suggestions, just like a hypnotic suggestion, and the person followed through on their own.
Got it. Yeah.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, and that's the current that I'm feeling, that underlying current that is kind of questionable to me right now.
The real question is it organized peer pressure?
Yeah.
By people who know how to manipulate peer pressure.
Exactly. Yes. 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 Because when my sons brought it to me, I was in shock. I'm like, you're kidding me. No, look it up. So I did. And most everything had been already scrubbed. And my youngest is like, yeah, I did watch it already. And it was that was a lot of blood. And I'm like, wow.
I wish I wouldn't have watched that.
Okay. So you can't unsee it. So I'm like, are you okay? So we had a little bit of a conversation, but to hear that they have persons that are expressing, and whether it's off the cuff or not, this is what concerns me, is to say that the guy had it coming.
No one has being murdered coming.
Thank you. I agree with you.
The blindness of the tribalism has taken over, erased common sense, erased the standard moral code. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay? The other day somebody said it's like 40% of the American population has been or is on some kind of SSRI.
Take a deep breath on that.
Has been on or is on. There is a disaster within the SSRIs that is causing such powerful instability in people. Let's say they've never been on an SSRI. They're just overwhelmed. They don't eat right. They don't do any self-care or self-nurturing. They're living in the adrenal glands. Reacting.
And those are getting fried all the time.
Sure. And also they need that dopamine hit. And I really think a lot of these people who are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death were desperate for the dopamine hit that came from it. Because they can't get dopamine releases from anything else. Our entertainment has been destroyed the last 5 years by DEI. Okay? You get one good movie a year coming out. The rest are total garbage.
Oh, you're giving it a generous leeway there with one a year.
Well, it's all going to be personal choice.
Yeah, but really, I keep searching, and it's rough. It is rough.
I can say one a year comes out. I can honestly, I've had a variety of movies or shows I enjoyed a lot.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I had a couple that I thought, yeah, that was good. That was entertaining.
It used to be the summer blockbusters. There were 3 or 4 that were just fun movies.
Oh, yeah, I grew up working the theaters, so I watched the swells come in
Yeah.
often. Not anymore. No, it just isn't there.
So for me right now, I'm letting myself feel all the charge and polarity with all of this, but I'm
Yes,
I'm looking inside. What can I do to make a difference to honor who that guy was? I do a
there
spiritual
we
talk.
go.
And also, a lot of what he talks, I talk. How do I venture into that world and not eliminate the spiritual part of my conversations? And I have a built-in audience. I don't want to become a political person, but is that what it's asking me right now? Am I
Beautiful
courageous enough
question.
to step into it? Okay, that's where I'm
Are
at
you
now.
courageous enough to offer debate? And I think you are, dear sir. That is what you bring to
Mm-hmm.
all of the conversations that I've witnessed from you, is you encourage people to bring their thoughts. And that, I think, is beautiful. I had a similar sensation today. How do we honor this individual who has taken his life and placed it up there for open debate? And this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Can we find it within ourselves? Are there going to be enough people, hopefully, that step up to the plate and just say, let's talk. Let's talk more. Because we can get somewhere if we do, but if everybody's blown out of the water, or is that part of what they hoped would happen? That now everybody will be afraid to speak up?
I think part of it is they tried to kill a movement.
Certainly,
It's,
certainly.
it's been said that Charlie Kirk, for our modern generation, he's equivalent of Martin Luther King being shot.
That's what I equated it to, yes.
What will come of it? How will the people that loved him step up to the plate? How will they mourn his loss and figure out what does this message tell me and what will I do next?
And how will the people that, whether they loved him or not, for myself, I didn't love him as a speaker. I didn't agree with
Same here.
a good majority of what he said. However, I believed in the expression of freedom of speech, of offering free and open debate, and putting yourself up there for discussion. Change my mind, please. Change my mind.
We can all agree to disagree and still share a beer at the end.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Can we get up there and say, I didn't agree with him, but I do agree that we should be able to speak our mind and exchange ideas, good, bad, and indifferent?
Do I want to put myself in front of some people who are truly indoctrinated at the college level who you aren't going to change their mind unless you're really in that super state? And do I want to open myself up to the demons, whether they're self-created or external, that are in them? I get it from the
Bless your
show, and I've
Bless your
learned to
heart. Yes, you
defeat it,
do.
to defend against it. Is that a power that I can take out there? I think I can. I right now, my internal moral dilemma is I enjoy where I'm at. I don't want to do this the rest of my life. There are other things that I want to do, but a spirit whispering to me, be courageous and step up, or
Right.
continue on this other path. No choice is the wrong choice for me.
Yes.
No
Yes.
choice is the wrong choice. They're all the right choice. Got myself
That's
teary.
where we beautiful. And that's where we keep going in. Yes, let those tears gather the old, the junk. Those tears be that little extra bit of purging so that we can refresh and renew, so that we can deeperly connect in with that spirit and let it move us and inflate those sails of courage so that we may be the master of our own ship, that we can spread the joy that we know is available, that we've seen with our own hands, tasted with our own lips and tongue, heard with our own ears, and encourage everybody else to do the same. Look inside.
Ben?
I, 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 I wish for you to find just the little extra spark for me of strength and support and belief in
Thank
what
you.
that thought is right. Oh, Andrew, what you have offered me over the past several years of support is, there are no words, but thank you. I am doing my very level best to keep enjoying that sunshine, to continue to develop to be the sweetest, juiciest mango that I can be. And every time I have something come up to me, I look at it and I work at flipping that switch or shifting that gear to gratitude. If I've got something that's rolling me downhill, I will do what I can, even if it's looking at the blessed doorknob and being grateful that that doorknob functions so well. And then I can move from there.
I'm
But
also
yeah,
I'm also at another point. You know, I just did the live event, and now I have to plan business for the next year.
talk to me. I missed the event. How did it go? And what are your future? What are you seeing? That's
Oh, the event
overwhelming.
went great. A lot of everybody loved it. The new material was outstanding. We've got new products that are coming out, the recording of it, etc. The thing is, I still have to plan every year. I have to plan a year in the future, and sometimes 18 months in the future. Okay, I've got to plan out what are the themes of the shows and the webinars that we're going to do. You know, every Thursday we do the live call-in show. That's a staple, but I still have to create other material. I got to keep the channel relevant, otherwise it stagnates and dies out. That's why I took a year and a half break from doing live call-in shows, because I was burned out on doing it. I wanted to do something else. Okay, and now here I'm looking at the business from the spirit of business and the spirit of business that's within me, and I'm trying to look. People don't want to practice spirit right now. During COVID, everybody got their taste of spirit. They practiced, they got the results, and they fucking quit on it. Okay? No one really wants to hear about commitment, courage, and discipline anymore. No one really wants to practice a daily practice. They just want to be told what to do to fix their moment of now and then forget what you say. They don't want to be personally responsible. I know that that's the waves of just, being a person in this type of business. But I got to see what can I act as a net to grow the channel. I already know YouTube will never let the channel grow. We've grown on Rumble as much as we could until the boomers and the people that are stuck on the YouTube start switching over to Rumble. Okay. I every time I go on YouTube, I risk the channel getting nuked. Okay. That's the
How
reality.
open are you to travel?
Say that again.
How open are you to travel?
I'm very open to travel. I've done quite a bit of traveling. Am I traveling for the business? Am I planning for it? Am I marketing it? All the pre-planning that goes into that.
Have you imagined traveling for the business at all?
Sure. I did a lot
I know
of I've done a lot of personal traveling for my own self, separate of the business. I just spent almost 3 weeks in Oregon, to the week before the event of the week and then the week after. Yeah. So it's not like I don't go anywhere and I do plenty of things. But am I going to plan 2 events next year? Am I going to do one event in another Scotland tour because everybody's asking to redo that? Do I do a tour somewhere else? Okay. Do I do 2 tours? Is that just too much for the audience? Because these things have to be profitable. If one person signs up for a tour, it's not profitable. It's not worth me going.
And the challenge right now, we're going to be up in minimum wage over here in California, so nobody's going to have a dollar to their name.
Right. Everybody's personally broke.
But
the people that aren't personally broke, are they going to be willing to spend on it this year versus the event? Do you want to go to the event, or do you want to go to Scotland, or you want to go somewhere else? I had a Thailand journey that I could I have a cruise liner deals that I set from last year if I wanted to go and do. Okay. Who wants to go on a cruise for a week to Alaska with me?
Well, that's okay. So, sure, that'd be slick and sweet, but generating the funds to do that is incredible. And personally, myself, I'm not so hip on being with all those kind of people that want to go on cruises. Just not my
Yeah.
bag.
But from a
But
business model standpoint, I have all these available, and what can I put out and not oversaturate?
so, so here's what I'm hearing for you, just to put in your little, I don't know, spot on a Target board or something, or just toss it in the trash. It's up to you. But what about if you were to travel around and do a fire ceremony
That
here or
requires,
there?
that
And
requires planning
it,
and marketing. I'm at that stage where I'm looking at the next year, but that requires planning. Let's say I do a 3-state tour. I do Denver, Los Angeles, and Florida. Okay. That's I do that.
okay.
When do I do it and still market in a live event in a year?
Well, you could consider weather patterns. When would be a nice time? Would you go for fall? Would you aim for spring? Would you hit a winter time?
It isn't about what time of year. It's going to be what am I telling them I'm doing when I get there, and will they be a part of it? Let's say I go to Denver and I'm going to do a fire ceremony. I need a place to do it. I need volunteers to help that get done. It's not like I could just walk into Colorado Colorado and start a fire anywhere in the forest. I can't do that.
Well, okay, well, what about someplace like Shasta and
Okay,
being able to go to a grounds that they already have, or maybe even meeting with some of the
no,
tribes?
pretty much no fires in Shasta right now because of all the firestorms that they've had there. And you're battling the rainbow drug crews that are there during this time of the season. So, and you
Okay, so
don't have,
season makes a difference.
okay. If I go in the winter, it's feet of snow. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Shasta is a very challenging environment to plan events and retreats. You generally
okay,
got to do it a year and a half, secure a place, secure a residence that's going to not be booked ahead of time. Okay. Because a lot of those Airbnbs fill up from people going to Shasta, not for spiritual stuff, just to go there and be in nature and fish and hunt and camp, etc. Climb
uh-huh,
the mountain. Okay.
okay.
Hey, I got to let you go. I've got to get to my members show.
I'll see you over there.
All right, everybody. It's been great talking to you. We will be back. We're actually moving to the members show. If you guys want to join the members area, go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, sign up, and you'll get a link to join us. We'll be back tomorrow for the Friday Night Loosh Report. All right, everybody. I'll see you in the members area.